Today, we're going to talk about a move that absolutely shook the AI world to its core. It's the story of how Meta built one of the most powerful AI engines on the entire planet and then just gave it away for free. And trust me, that one decision changed everything.
So the story of Llama kicks off with an idea that sounds, well, almost too good to be true. You've got this tech giant basically handing over the keys to a kingdom that cost millions upon millions to build.
Just let that sink in for a second. This wasn't some free trial or a watered-down version of their tool. No, we are talking about the core technology, a state-of-the-art AI engine, handed over pretty much no strings attached.
And that right there is the central puzzle of this whole thing. Why? Why would a company do this? What on earth is the strategy behind giving away something so incredibly valuable? Well, to figure that out, we have to take a look at what the AI world was actually like before Llama ever showed up.
You see, before Llama, all the most powerful AI was kept in what you could call a locked garden. So if you were a developer or a startup or even a researcher, your access to the really good, cutting-edge stuff was, let's just say, extremely limited.
And for developers, this meant you were stuck with a pretty terrible choice. You could pay to rent access to a model like ChatGPT, but those costs just explode the second you start to scale up. Or you could try to build your own, which, let's be honest, was basically impossible for anyone without a gigantic budget.
Let me give you an analogy to make this super clear. Using one of those closed-source APIs, it's like taking a taxi. Sure, it's convenient and it gets you where you're going, but you have to pay for every single trip and you have absolutely no control over the car itself.
And what about building your own model from the ground up? Well, that's like trying to build a Formula One race car in your garage. I mean, yeah, a tiny handful of people on Earth could probably do it. But for the rest of us, it's a total non-starter. This was the problem everyone was facing.
And then, right into this world of locked gardens and impossible choices, Meta just dropped a key. A key that unlocked that garden for absolutely everyone. And that key was Llama.
So, to finish our analogy, what Meta did with Llama is like them showing up and saying, hey, here's a brand new professional-grade car engine. It's yours, for free. You can put it in a race car, a delivery truck, whatever you want. You can tune it, you can modify it, you can build an entire business around it. This is what changed the game.
So technically, what exactly is Llama? Well, it's a family of large language models from Meta. And the most important part here is that they are open source. This means you can literally download the model weights, which you can think of as the trained brain of the AI, and use them however you want, for free, even for most commercial products.
The release of Llama was just monumental because it instantly democratized AI. It gave all these developers and startups the power, the control, and the privacy they were so desperate for. It kicked off an absolute explosion of innovation across the whole open source community.
All right, so let's pop the hood and see what actually makes this engine tick. What are the key pieces you really need to know about? Okay, first, the license is incredibly generous for pretty much any commercial use. Second, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You can pick smaller, faster models, or you can go for the massive, really powerful ones like the 70 billion parameter version. And parameters are just the little knobs the AI uses to learn things. And finally, you can get the raw base model to really customize, or you can grab the ready-to-go instruct model that's already a fantastic chatbot right out of the box.
And the progress here has been ridiculously fast. Llama 2 came out in 2023, and it proved that, yeah, open source could definitely compete. But Llama 3, which dropped in 2024, that was a massive leap forward. It's now genuinely competitive with, and in some cases, even better than the best closed-source models out there like GPT-4.
And when you put Llama 3 head-to-head with a closed model like ChatGPT, the advantages are just so stark. Cost, it's free versus, well, expensive. It's open versus closed, it's fully customizable versus a total black box, and this is a big one. For privacy, you can run Llama on your own hardware, which is completely impossible with a cloud-only model.
So who's actually using this powerful new engine? Well, the answer is pretty much everyone who's building seriously with AI these days.
You've got startups building their entire products on top of Llama to avoid those crippling API fees. You have huge companies using it to analyze sensitive data in-house, completely privately. Researchers are tearing it apart to figure out how it works, and hobbyists are running it on their home computers, which, by the way, was pure science fiction just a couple of years ago.
Here's a perfect real-world example. Picture a healthcare startup.
By fine-tuning Llama, which really just means specializing the general model on their own private medical data and running it on their own servers, they get two enormous wins. One, they save a fortune on API costs, and two, maybe more importantly, they can guarantee that sensitive patient data stays 100% private and secure.
And you know, the best part is just how accessible this has all become. If you want to try it out, you can get it running on your own laptop in just a few minutes using a tool called Ollama. If you need pure speed, you can use a specialized cloud service. And if you're a pro, you can just download the raw model files yourself and build something completely custom.
So when you put all of this together, you start to see that Llama is so much more than just another AI model. It's really the engine at the heart of an entire movement.
Look, Llama has fundamentally changed the AI landscape. It provides free, top-tier AI that puts the power back into the hands of the builders. It's become the foundational layer for a huge, huge part of the entire modern AI ecosystem.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future, doesn't it? As these models get more and more powerful and more integrated into our lives, which path is going to win out? The closed, proprietary model run by a few big companies, or the open, democratized model that Llama is championing? The answer to that question is going to define the next decade of technology.